We'll start. So today we'll start a new course on content marketing. Content is the king, as it is said in the digital space. This course is brought to you by Hills of EdTech. Content marketing, a comprehensive guide to building brand reputation, drive engagement, growing your business through strategic content. First, we have to talk about your content marketing journey as a business. This class walks you through the complete content marketing lifestyle, from foundational concept to execution and management. Each module builds on the last to give you a holistic, actionable framework. So, we'll start with the concept of content marketing, research, plan, create and curate, and publish, then measure. One, foundations and intent. Two, listing and analyze. Three, goals and calendar. Four, create your content, distribute and schedule, track and optimize. So, course overview, what we will be covering. So, this course is structured around the six core phases of content marketing. We will use this as a roadmap through this session. We will move through each phase in depth, building your confidence and capability at every step. One, concept. You are going to understand what content marketing is, why it matters, and the key principle that make it effective. Two, research. We'll learn how to listen to our audience, analyze competitors, audit existing content. Four, plan. Three, plan. We're going to define our content goal, develop personas, audience personas, those that are going to be reviewing our content, map topics, and build a content calendar that works. Then create and curate. We're going to produce compelling content and source great material that resonates with our audience. Then it's one thing to develop, build content. It's another thing to publish and distribute that content. So we're going to talk about how to distribute our content across the right channels at the right time for maximum impact. Then finally, we're going to talk about how we're going to track performance of our content, interpret data, and continuously improve our content strategy for our brand. So, chapter one, content marketing concept. Before diving into tactics and tools, it's essential to understand the core concept that underpin effective content marketing. This chapter covers the fundamentals every marketer needs to know. Content marketing, what it is and why it matters. Two, types of content. We have topical content versus evergreen content. Content that are relevant every day. Then we have content intent, aligning content to the buyer journey. We cannot talk about content marketing without talking about content intent, whereby we align our content to the buyer journey. And you need to understand that we have different phases in terms of the buyer journey: the awareness, the consideration, the conversion, the retention. So there are different phases. Then we have community management, the customer service of content. How are people interacting with our content? How long do they interact with our content? What kind of engagement do we receive on our content? And what kind of content format accepts the highest engagement? Then content strategy, a cyclical and evolving plan. Content strategy is a cyclical and evolving plan because after we have distributed, we have to measure, we have to optimize, find out what is working and what is not working. Then, what is content marketing? Content marketing is the creation, publishing, and sharing of content with the aim of building brand reputation, awareness, and affinity. Content marketing is the creation, publishing, and sharing. You create, you publish, and share content with the aim of building brand reputation, awareness, and affinity. Unlike traditional advertising, content marketing aims attention rather than buying it. By delivering genuinely useful, entertaining, or inspiring content, brands build trust with their audience over time. Brands build trust with audience over time. And turning strangers into customers and customers into advocates. You see the steps. These people are strangers to our brand, but with our content, we have been able to build trust. You understand? And it's one of the most cost effective long term marketing investments a business can make. You have to invest in your content marketing. You have to ensure that you are bringing out valuable and relevant content to your audience every day, every week, and every month. And the next thing we have to talk about is the benefits of content marketing. A well executed content marketing strategy delivers measurable value across multiple dimensions of your business. Done consistently, it becomes one of your most powerful growth engine. One, the benefits of content marketing. One, generate leads. Attract qualified prospects to your brand through valuable and relevant content. There's need for you to attract qualified prospect to your brand through valuable and relevant content. Two, recruit talent. Showcase your culture and expertise to attract top candidates to your organization. Three, increase sales. Content marketing drives sales. Nurture buyers through their decision making journey with the right content at the right time. Four, grow audience. Build a loyal community of followers and subscribers who regularly engage with your brand. Five, enhance reputation. Establish authority and thought leadership in your industry through consistent expertise sharing. There's need for consistent expertise sharing when we talk about what? Content marketing, whereby you position yourself as a thought leader in the industry. When anybody talks about fintech, you are the go-to person in terms of fintech. When anybody talk about edtech, you are the go-to person for edtech. So the next thing we're going to talk about is qualities of effective what content. Not all content is created equal. You have to understand that not all content is created equal. Effective content shares a set of core qualities that make it genuinely useful to our audience and strategically valuable to our brand. We're going to use this checklist when reviewing any piece of content before publishing it. One, does this content addresses the needs and interests? Great content solves a real problem or fulfills a genuinely curiosity your audience has. It starts with the audience, not the brand. It starts with the audience. What are their searchers' intent? What are the different search term keywords that they are using to search about your brand, about your product and services? This content you are developing, is it solving searchers' intent? You understand? Then two, relevant and timely. This content must speak to what your audience cares about right now in the right format, on the right platform at the right moment. You have to ensure that the content that you are developing speak to what our audience and cares about right now in the right format, on the right platform at the right moment. Then include explicit call to actions. Every piece of content should guide the reader towards a clear next step. There must be call to action. Whether that is they are reading to sign up or to buy a product, you understand, it's explicitly important that at the end of every content, there's a call to action we expect the individual to take. And then personalize. Content must be personalized. Content that speaks directly to a specific audience segment performs significantly better than generic one size fits all messaging. So there's need for content to be what personalized. Then qualities of effective content, we have demonstrate you are the solution. You have to position yourself and your brand that you are the solution, that you are the go-to person for this particular what issue that you are trying to solve in the industry. Subtly position your brand as the answer to the problem your content addresses without being overly what promotional. Then finally, educational. Teaching your audience something valuable builds trust and positions your brand as an authority in your space. You have to position your brand as an authority in your space. The next thing we have to talk about are the two main types of what content. All content, all content broadly falls into one of the two categories, topical and evergreen. A smart content strategy leverages both, using topical content to stay culturally relevant and evergreen content to build lasting value. Understanding the difference helps you allocate resources more efficiently. When you talk about topical content, you are talking you are talking about one tied to a moment in time. This particular content, this particular piece that you have developed is tied to a moment in time, newsworthy and current, time sensitive lifespan. This particular content is time sensitive. After 1 week, it becomes stale. Limited repurposing potential. It cannot be repurposed too many times. Great for brand relevance and social buzz. Then we have evergreen content. When you talk about evergreen content, this kind of content, timeless, they are timeless and long lasting, relevant to a wide audience. This particular content are relevant to a wide audience, can be repurposed and redistributed. It can be repurposed and redistributed. Efficient use of content resources builds sustained organic traffic over time. Evergreen content builds sustained traffic over time. The next thing we have to talk about is topical content. Topical content is content that ties into a moment in time and as such has a lifespan of what relevancy. It has a lifespan of relevancy. The key is speed. Brands that respond quickly and authentically to relevant moments earn the most attention. Think real-time social posts, reactive campaign, or timely op-ed. There was a time a brand jumped into a conversation that was going on in South Africa. A man that went to one of the restaurants in South Africa, I can't still remember, I think it was KFC or Domino Pizza, and proposed to her girlfriend. And a particular nationality was like, oh, so you guys are so poor that it's in a restaurant that you're coming to propose to your girl. You understand? And before you know what is happening, different brands started jumping into the conversation. Some said they are going to help in getting the venue for the wedding. Some said they will help in getting the wedding ring for their wedding. Some accepted to get the suit for their wedding. A lot, you understand? So they jumped into the conversation immediately. These are topical words content. You understand? Then we have how to create topical content. One, you have to choose the general theme. You understand? Identify recurring themes, annual events, or industry moments like International Women's Day. You understand? Mother's Day, Father's Day. You understand? that are predictably relevant to your audience. Build a seasonal calendar or likely opportunities. Then consider potential outcome. You have to consider potential outcome. Think through how events might unfold and prepare content for multiple scenarios. You understand? This allows you to publish quickly without scrambling for approval at the last minute. You understand? Then resource adequately. Ensure you have the team, tools, sign off process in place to move at pace. Topical content that is 3 days late is really effective. You understand? So, topical content is powerful, but you have to produce it timely. You understand? And relevant content requires both preparation and agility. The brands that excel at topical content invest in planning ahead. You have to plan ahead so they can move fast when the moment arrives. Follow these 3 steps to build your topical content approach. Then examples of topical content. Topical content comes in many forms. The best example feel natural, timely, and authentic to the brand. Never forced. Here are some common formats and contexts where topical content thrives. One, real-time social post. Two, seasonal campaign. You understand? Seasonal campaign. Three, industry news commentary. Then reactive campaign. As I talked about the young man that proposed to his girlfriend in a hotel, in a restaurant. So, evergreen content. Evergreen content remains relevant and valuable long after it's first published. You understand now? Evergreen content remains fresh to our audience with periodic update. It can serve your audience and your SEO for years. Is the warehouse of a sustainable content strategy. One, long lasting, converting. It can convert at any time. Is efficient. One piece of evergreen content can be repurposed across multiple formats. A blog post becomes a video, an infographics, a podcast episode, and more. How to create evergreen content? You have to choose timeless what topic. You understand? Focus on subject your audience will always need help with. Two, you have to promote on social media. Don't just publish and forget. Regularly reshare evergreen content on social platforms, especially when it's newly updated or newly what relevant. Repurpose at a later date. You can repurpose evergreen content for a later date. Transform your top performing evergreen pieces into new formats. Videos, infographics, email series to extend their reach and lifespan. So, examples of evergreen content, how to articles, tutorials and beginners guides, FAQs, case studies, list articles and checklists. These are examples of what evergreen what content, tutorials and beginners guide, FAQs, case studies, extremely very important. Then content intention, how content works for you. We have awareness, we have interest, we have consideration, we have conversion, we have retention. We have one thing you need to understand about content marketing is that we have different kinds of content that serves different what purposes along the customer journey. You understand? So awareness stage, let potential customer know you exist. You understand? So there are content that creates awareness about a brand. Then in the interest stage, capture the audience attention. In the interest stage, you can capture the audience attention based on what you're offering. You understand? Then consideration, further inform your customers the benefits they can get doing business with you, buying your product or services, or subscribing to your product to your services. Then conversion, foster a warm and personalized experience. You understand now? This help to extend conversion and then encourage repeat word business. When you have converted them, when they have bought product from you, when they have subscribed to your services, then you now start talking about what how to encourage them for repeat services. You ask them how they are doing, how the product is serving them. Do they want more information? You provide more information to them that helps them to excel. Then align content to the buyer journey. One thing you need to understand is this: different stages of the funnel call for very different content formats. Match your content type to where your audience is in their journey to maximize engagement, move them forward effectively. In our next lesson, we'll be talking about how you as a brand can align content to the buyer journey. And when you look at the buyer journey, we are talking about awareness stage, we are talking about interest stage, we are talking about consideration stage, we are talking about conversion stage, and you're talking about the retention stage. You understand? So in our next lesson, we'll be talking about how content helps you in terms of aligning with your customers in their different stages in the buying process. Thank you. This class is brought to you by Hillsoft EdTech.